Welcome to BattleTech in the Morning with Captain Nips, where today we're going deep. We're going deep into the data files, and we are going to load up some mechs that, at least for the purposes of this beta, maybe not completely cooked. Probably not completely cooked. But you know what? I'm just here to have fun. This is going to be goofing off. So I've gone into the data files, and anyone that's gone in and poked around a bit will have noticed that in addition to the mechs that are in the beta intentionally, like they are fully formed, that they work, and they're in the lists that if you did nothing to the game, you could go in here into this dialogue and pick them out. In the game files, there are more mechs than that. Now, some of them, as I previously showed in a video, mostly work. I believe our friend the Enforcer somewhere down the list was one of them. Let's see if we can find him. Yeah, so Enforcer. All the stats are there. The mech model, the art is there. The portrait is goofed up. But beside from that, this mech works in-game exactly as you would expect and seems totally fine. It's great. Probably you'd call it, what, 90-95% complete? However, there are a handful of data files in this game for mechs that result in some, let's just call it strangeness. So, dragon with some parts of it maybe working correctly. The stats look like they might be right. But today we're going to play with a very heavy lance of what the game files call these imposters. So let's go by cost, because I have also tinkered the cost of these down so we can play with them. We have the Black Knight, who's so uncooked that it doesn't even register a portrait. You've got a King Crab, you've got a Zeus, you've got a Highlander. So we're going to roll these four out. Let's see, I had a method to this, so it was Black Knight, Highlander, King Crab, Zeus. Okay, that wasn't exactly how I'd been doing it before, but that's fine. Pilot-wise, we're just going to take the cream of the crop and move on with our lives. Hey Sumo, welcome back. You're in a Highlander now. Maybe it's a Highlander. We're not quite sure. Do the data files support that? We don't know. Zeus. Yeah, Apex, you're fine. Everybody's got good gunnery. That's all I care about. On the other side, I'm going to set up a lance that, you know, can have some fight to it. Let's see, can we get bigger? Can we get angrier? Got this one again. You know what we'll do? We'll take... I've got such a... There's so much weight over here, and what we're hoping are mechs that function. Let's swap out this commando for one of the weird tinkered mechs that I have out here. I had set back all of the normal data files back to their normal costs, so we're just going to end up with something here that doesn't look quite right. That's fine. That's fine. And we're not going to quibble too much. We're going to just go Alpine River. Not Alpine River. River Crossing. And we want Sunset. And we're just going to roll this out here and see what happens. Now, one of the interesting things about the game data files is that if you go poking around inside of them, especially the mech ones, you know, it's actually fairly easy to edit things. Once you've spent enough time in there, you start to be able to read the data arrangement format of what's in those files. And for some of the mechs that were not included originally in the Kickstarter beta, like the Enforcer, they just work. But in the ones that maybe aren't quite completely cooked, i.e. are missing game models and the like, there's a line that says imposter, and the reason for that becomes very evident when you look at the mechs. Clearly these are not cooked. That's not a King Crab. That's not a Zeus. That's certainly not a Black Knight. That's definitely not a Highlander. So what Harebrained has done is put in basically dummy assets, so at least maybe they can work. You know, like maybe they use these in testing or whatnot. And if we had files, I haven't exhaustively looked across all of the mech files that are in the beta directories. Presumably you would see a medium imposter and a light imposter, because we clearly have a heavy and assault imposter here. I have experimented a little bit with these in-game. The animations, as you would expect, are kind of completely broken. They don't work in ways that you expect. The mechs, for the most part, do behave. And, for instance, Black Knight, here's its loadout. That is a correct loadout for a variant of a Black Knight. It's a real energy-heavy loadout, but that's fine. Sumo, in his Highlander, AC-10, LRM-20, SRM-6, 2 medium lasers. All that works. All that makes sense. The only thing that's goofed up so far is the model. We're just gonna, you know, tactics are kind of out the window. I am goofing off. This is for fun. I just want to see, like, are the numbers, are the stats for these mechs in the game in such a way enough that they are actually mechs, or are there things that are really broken here? A little bit of playing around with these in another match. As I mentioned, the animations don't typically work because these imposter models don't have the weapon loadouts for the mechs. So often you'll see when you trigger an attack is nothing, and maybe some numbers pop off the enemy. So it kind of works. I have seen it where you'll fire off a volley and there's no animation, and there's no weapon fire animation, and there's no numbers on the target, and it doesn't seem to have done anything, which is even weirder. But you know what? We're deep in the data files. We're really goofing off with things that weren't intended to be played with in the first place by Hairbrained. And if things don't work, it's fine. We're just here to goof off. I will say that I absolutely cannot wait, and also I probably threw Kraken out here to die. Let's brace him at least. I cannot wait once they get the full, that's a Jaeger mech, the full mech list in with all of their models, because I really like the art for a lot of these models. Like, I have opinions about the Black Knight. The tabletop, the original tabletop model is real lanky looking. I don't like how it looks rounded. There was a latter era Black Knight model that looks more like the Mech Warrior model, but it's very armor chunky. Like, the leg armor is huge. It's got these huge knee plates. The MWO model, and presumably the model that will make it into this game, is kinds of strikes a balance between those things, and it looks really good. Looks really good.
Understood.
All right, so I'm gonna have to reference my card frequently. This is a King Crab. This is the AC-20 variant of the King Crab. I've got a line of sight on this Jaeger with real bad chances to hit with those 20s, but we're overheating anyway. Also, we don't have hardly any ammo for the 20s, so we're gonna save ourselves those. We're gonna fire the long-range stuff at this Jaeger.
Roger.
Choices. Dodging a fair bit of that. Pretty sure I did not see the large laser shoot, but I can't tell you if it didn't apply damage with it. Hey look, it's their Black Knight imposter. Which, since the Orion model actually has some lasers in it, like, some of that will animate properly, which is, yeah, yay.
What can I do you for?
Yay. Let's see. Can we get this Highlander in a position to use its guns? How about if we go up on this ridge?
No problem.
My big purple, not Highlander, pink purple. Fire on this Jaeger mech. We like those hit percentages. Heat's pretty good. 65's a little better than coin flip for the little guns. It's fine.
You're fine.
Sumo as usual. Ooh, dodging. It's kind of hard to tell what he dodged. Clearly a bunch of missiles. Probably the autocannon. That's going to be probably the hardest thing about playing this match effectively, will be knowing which of my weapons actually hit, because the animations are goofed up, and just tracking the numbers as they fly off the mech doesn't actually help in a lot of cases. Alright, so we're in our Zeus. Here's its loadout. That looks correct. Got some numbers to hit. Sure, fling them. And you notice that some numbers are popping off, but no missiles to follow them, because, well, this Atlas does technically have an LRM and an SRM, so maybe they're just not lined up correctly in the data files versus where they are on the actual mech model. All of this is weird. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm certainly not gonna
I'm here.
conjecture anymore as to how or how not things are working. I'm just gonna treat their loadouts as correct and cross my fingers that when I go to shoot something, we can fire that PPC just because. Let's see if we can get rid of this Jaeger mech. Just treat them as written, and hope that they're actually working correctly. And that certainly looked like that did some amount of damage. You know, when you roll some prototypes out of the mech bays, sometimes there's bugs, sometimes there's errors. You know, it's a well-documented thing in the BattleTech lore that, you know, sometimes you take a prototype out in the field and things maybe just don't work the way you expect. That's fine. It's part of the process. Alright, Arclight. And the King Crab. Would love to get some range on some of these guys. I cannot wait to see the King Crab model in action in this game. I love the King Crab model from MechWarrior. I think the art team for PGI did an amazing job reimagining the King Crab, and it took it from, that was clearly an AC-20, took it from a tabletop model that I kind of despise in every single way to a re-envisioned, reimagined model that looks just fantastic. Just, it animates amazing. It looks like it has the heft that that mech should, and actually makes it imposing in a way that I feel like the tabletop model is not imposing in any fashion. Let's see. Can we finish off this Jaeger? Do we need to finish off this Jaeger? He's across the river. He's got no guns. He's no threat to us. I think we could better apply some of these remarkably high hit percentages to other targets. Let's see. So we could go after the other Jaeger mech, or we could go after the Imposter Black Knight. I'm actually less worried about the Imposter Black Knight, because as we're learning from our Black Knight, because it's so energy heavy, it's gonna have to watch its heat, so it's gonna have to take some turns off every now and then. The autocannons, on the other hand, nope, there's an obstruction. I'm legitimately afraid of autocannons in this game. Alright, so there's a 30, there's an 18, there's some 3s, some 18s. I feel like I'm playing Mega Mech a little bit. Sumo. From up top. You got nice lines of sight. Your range is kind of garbage. Yeah. Sure. Go with the easier numbers to hit. You're off on the right. So now that LRM launched correctly. Presumably because a Highlander and an Atlas share an LRM in the same torso location for the model, etc., etc., etc. Look at all that autocannon fire. Lasers too.
That shot got past my armor.
It's fine. You're only you know, rolling out there in a prototype that costs 10 million C-bills, probably more since it's a prototype. And, you know, we don't want that to suffer any crucial damage. It's not like we don't have more Black Knights. Oh, wait. We probably don't until the beta progresses a bit. Let's see. And here's your Black Knight check-in. Tons of energy weapons. Not nearly enough heat scale to take it all. We'll just start subtracting medium lasers until we get there. Ooh. Take one of the larges off. Yeah, large lasers are real heat intensive. Can we add some back in? Not really. Get up. The PPC in particular, I've noticed, ooh, good shot, is very, very hot. At least on this Black Knight. Like, I don't seem to have had those sorts of problems on other mechs with the PPC, but, you know, we'll figure it out. That poor guy. That poor Jaeger mech. Defanged completely. Alright, King Crab. We're gonna roll right up on these guys. Again, the AI in the background. I am wondering out loud what it is thinking. Apparently we are still too far away for my AC-20s to be great. Save the ammo. Fire box guns, laser hits, SRM hits, or LRM I should say. Oh, hey, look at that. I should probably pay attention to my heat. Got a knockdown on their Black Knight. Their wonderful pink, gray, and purple Black Knight. Hey, lasers.
Armor breach. Internal damage.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
Sumo, you may want to just kill this Jaeger mech before it gets a chance to get in range for melee. Too much heat. Take away the stuff that is less likely to hit. Yeah, there he goes. No sense letting that get any closer, so it could make a potential melee attack.
That was a bad hit. Standing by.
Apex. Get into the water here. Some kind of somewhat obstructed lines of sight. Interesting. Also interesting that it's signaling an indirect attack from several spaces behind me. That's weird. Hey! Mess with game files, things get weird. She has a real good chance to hit. Let's drop that LRM off for heat's sake, and why are these numbers so good? +1, 0, 0, 0.
Target
Interesting. So far, so good. Our imposter mechs, despite some obvious, unintended, maybe intended, quirkiness in their animations since they're not finished. The hits are landing. The damage is there. We're doing the work. Let's see, Kraken is there. Arclight is there. Stand side by side. Alright, so. Black Knight. I would really like to get this Black Knight down the water. Would really like to get this Black Knight down the water. Could use the extra heat dissipation. Get aligned on this Jaeger mech. Where do we shoot his buddy? Let's fire on the Jaeger mech. So here's something silly. I'm running so hot right now. But all of my all of my 2-hit percentages are 100%. I'm going to do the absolutely ridiculous thing of firing all of my guns. If this were tabletop or MWO, the likelihood that my mech just simply explodes from heat, literally just dead is non-zero. However, in this case, likelihood of death due to getting just brutally wrecked while shut down is much higher.
Internal structure damage.
Hey, you're fine.
Losing armor.
Hey, you're fine. Seriously, dude. You're fine. Alright.
Yep.
Arclight. In your king crab. Continuing to look down at the bottom left and see which mech is which. Let's see if we can get down on anything here.
Heading out.
Drop the alarm. We've got a heat problem. We have a heat problem regardless. Wow, that's unfortunate. I don't want to keep shutting down. That seems silly. AC-20's very hot.
Attacking from position.
It's just... Woof. Alright. Yeah, one shot with an AC-20 is good times.
Do they think they can hurt me?
Hey, Sumo.
Something I can do.
You're up on this hill, Ming. Can we Highlander our way down? I think we can Highlander our way down.
Whoa, boy.
That's a good animation for an Atlas model for a jump. I like that. 2 jets low, 2 jets high. Arms spread like wings. We like that. Alright, let's shoot things. Checking our heat. Drop the 20. And we're going to overheat if we add anything because jumping is hot as sin. Highlander.
Oh, you want some of this?
Precision strike. And
I tell you what, we better check my target.
I'm not sure if that indicated that he missed, that the weapon didn't fire, that... I don't know. Something happened. Goofy prototypes happen. Zeus. Zeus can punch. Although, does he... He doesn't really have heat problems right this second. So melee for 110, or shoot all the guns for all of the damages. Although that AC-5 is not great at this range. Let's actually select him, tab to the next target. 100% across the board. Heat, not a problem. Jaeger mech, probably to eat some hurt here.
Reporting critical hits.
Okay, this is good. Wow, that mech is fluorescent, as if the bright pink model color was not bright enough. He overheated. You could probably see this guy from orbit. Okay, Kraken.
Orders.
Yep. Melee? Oof, yeah.
Armor blow through. Internal damage.
Ah, you're fine. Okay, maybe you're not as fine as I thought. Arclight in your king crab. Can you be so kind? What an odd bit of numbering. 85. Ah, refire penalty on the one gun versus the other. So that's interesting. Versus this Jaeger mech. 70-85. I have inspiration. Let me use it.
Mess him up. Mess
Because
him
I'm
up
going to try
good.
and, yeah, mess up this Jaeger mech per... Yeah, I'm still overheating from it. I wonder if I'm not in the water. I'm actually standing in forest terrain here. I want to go here. Can I move? Can you let me move? There we go. Get down in the water. Chance goes up because we've closed the gap. Heat's no longer an issue. Let her rip.
I'm taking the shot.
You know, Spontaneous mech combustion is such a problem on the battlefields these days. What with our
That's all
super
you
secret
got?
blow you up technology where we don't actually launch munitions at things. Alright, Sumo.
Yeah? What can I do you for?
Feeling spicy. Feeling spicy. Alright, TFAs. We can go on his right or his left. We'll go on his right. No reason not to. Man, 115 times 2 for 100% chance. Highlander burial. Not quite, but
Oh, look what you made me do.
not quite, but all the damages. Alright,
Standing by.
Apex. It's not really an issue at the moment. What do you got? You got Precision Strike, which we don't care at the moment. Just kill the Black Knight and be done with it. Got the ammo. Got the heat scale. Who cares if the hit percentages are low? Alpha. Believe we're going to consider that a weapons misfire on the Zeus and move on with our lives. Hey, Kraken,
Here.
get up. You ain't out of this yet. You still got 2 good legs, a center torso and a head. That's plenty enough to do some work. You still got that small laser. Yeah, there you go. Show him who's
Taking a
boss.
critical hit.
Show which of these imposter Black Knights are the boss. Although he's probably gonna come right back and thump on you. Kill you in the process. Yup. Pow. Not surprised. Good explosions. We like that. Even though it is on our own neck.
Down.
Arc lights.
I'm here.
Can you please continue to pour weapons fire into this poor sod of a Jägermech? Or, you know what, that Jägermech is so beat up. Maybe just walk up and punch it. Walk up and punch it. It's probably just going to kill it. So we can save the ammo, because apparently the King Crab stock loadout really needs to, you need to watch your ammo conservation.
Mech destroyed.
Starting with only 10 total rounds between 2 autocannons, that is 5 turns worth of effective weapon fire, which given recent games is anywhere from a half a game to a third of a game's worth of autocannon ammunition. Not the greatest.
Right here.
We got the heat. Well, we got the ammo. We got the headroom on the heat. Standing in the water. Well, that was graphic.
Enemy down.
Woof. Alright, Apex. Just the one guy up the hill left, so let's get into a sprint and get in this guy's face. At least get a line of sight on him. Seems good. Back over to me. What is their last? Their last one is an assault.
Aye, aye.
Let's see. Oh. Battlemaster.
Understood.
King Crab's probably not got good range with these autocannons from here. Yeah, those numbers suck. So, flip to the long-range weapons. That actually is a pretty good setup, now that I think about it. You got your AC-20s for your close-in work. You've got your LRM-15 and large laser for your outside work.
Okay, I'm
Range
on it.
banding. Totally a thing. I think this may be the highest up the hill route I will have managed to engage in a fight on this map.
Ah, you bastard! Ah,
Ooh, anger management.
Something I
Issues.
can do.
Can we get further on a jump? No. Sprint. Reverse. Can't sprint. Why can't we sprint? Probably because we're unsteady or something along those lines. Yes, unsteady units can't sprint. Okay, fine. Hey, Apex.
Yes, Commander.
You can sprint. No, you can't sprint. Where are you? I have no idea what's going on. I'm having problems with the UI all of a sudden. Alright, so Apex, you're there. And cannot sprint if steady or flight completely destroyed. But I can't sprint. I can just move. No, it doesn't look grayed out. Well, chalk that up to weirdness. What if we just stand here and shoot? That never seems to not be a good idea. At least with the way this match is going.
Something I can do.
Can't really reserve. We're at the end of the turn. To read up on that.
I'm there.
Still haven't gone back to the manual to check if reserving steadies your units generally or if it requires that one pilot skill. Regardless of that fact, you cannot reserve out of phase 1, so I don't know how an assault mech ever steadies itself. Definitely have to go check the manual in this case. But for now, let's just let it rip with all the weapons and
I'll make them dead.
hope that some of them actually fire and apply damage. Alright,
Standing
so
by.
you are here. Let's put you here.
Confirmed.
Try and continue to use up all of our Phantom AC-20 rounds. Ooh, and we're at the sweet spot where we can get the laser in as well.
Roger.
Phantom autocannon shells. Only the finest in stealth munitions. Sumo.
Right here. You got it.
Only have indirect fire and only at 40%. You know what? Let's just bleed some heat. Apex.
Awaiting orders.
What you can you get? Yeah, all right.
Move order confirmed.
Get all up in there. Probably gonna have to drop the AC5 off unless heat is no issue. Heat's kind of no issue. Actually, the AC5 is somehow still in its sweet spot.
Giving them everything I've got. I'm here.
All right. If this is not in the range of these 1820s, like just the sweetest of spots, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, there we go. Fire on him. Shutdown is a warning. Yes. Overheat is a warning. And shoot once more. Oh yeah, refire +2. They both have refire +2. Screw it.
Acknowledged.
Again, Phantom
Watch
autocannons.
those heat levels. Critical hit. That one, I think.
All right, Sumo.
Something I can do.
Can you get into Highlander Burial? Sure, why not?
Target locked.
The way these weapons are working, we may as well take the physicals since we pretty much are sure. Yeah, they work. They still work.
Nice.
Apex.
On the move.
Get around, take off some of these weapons because they're going to be well into minimum range.
Taking the shot. Aye.
Kinda only got one spot to move into melee. Let's make it happen.
On my way. Picked up a blip.
This Battlemaster suddenly having a very bad day.
Scored a critical hit.
I'd be interested to see the King Crab model executing melee attacks. Oh, big snapper claws. That's the kind of fun we appreciate around here. Now we're just into a punch fight.
I'm under heavy fire here.
Eh, you're fine.
Oh, they don't like me at all.
Sumo.
Right here.
Do we just continue to do Highlander burials and hope for the best? I mean, the other mech is so torn up at this point. It's kind of silly not to. Oof. Yeah. Oh. Huh. Wasn't expecting to drop the mech. I must have either... I saw the side torso go, so either it damage transferred into the CT and killed it, which I don't think, or it took the leg off as well. We'll have to check the after action report. That was the Battlemaster on the other side. So let's swing on over to the enemy tab. And sure enough, got both legs. So took off the whole side in one giant Highlander burial. Pretty good outing for the imposter mechs, cobbled together from the barest hints of developer game files hiding in our beta. That was fun. That was goofy. We had giant pink mechs. Kind of hard to argue that point. So, that'll be all for today with BattleTech in the morning. I am Captain Nips as always, signing off.